Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am Maya Rivers, and this is The Truth Behind the Reel, where we discuss the life lessons found in film that can be applied to your life for personal and spiritual development. In today's video, we are going to review and discuss the Netflix docuseries Love on the Spectrum, the latest dating show to premiere on the streaming service that showcases the dating journey of people living with autism. Now, I must say that this show has single-handedly, pun intended, redefined the rules of dating. I mean, come on, let's admit it. Dating in 2020 is trash. From the game playing to the ghosting, I'm sure that you are just as over it as I am, which is why we are also going to discuss the 4 new laws of dating inspired by Love on the Spectrum that will change your life forever. So if you're interested in learning how, then definitely stay tuned. Love on the Spectrum follows 7 singles and 2 couples as they navigate dating, relationships, and love. Each of these individuals is defined as autistic, which is a neurodevelopmental condition. This typically results in social communication deficits such as an inability to read facial expressions or social cues, as well as restrictive or repetitive behaviors like deep interest in certain topics like paleontology. Dating can already be difficult and challenging enough, let alone dating with not only with autism, but the stigma that comes along with it. One of the things I learned from this 5-episode docuseries, and the director, Kian O'Cleary, did a really good job of this, was portraying the cast as real people. I recognized pieces of myself in each of the storylines, from the straightforward idealism of Michael, whose deep interest happens to be the study of women and relationships, to the over-eagerness, awkwardness, and unrequited love faced by each of the cast members. This was by far the most relatable show of 2020 that I have watched. There were legitimate laugh-out-loud moments, such as dates getting food in their eyes while discovering their sexuality, or the reasons not to date somebody 100% hot, but instead 50-50. I found myself laughing with them and not at them because I too have experienced the same or similar while dating. From the start, Kian O'Cleary's vision was to create a show that fostered understanding and not sympathy. And it is my hope that the single cast members do indeed find the love that they seek, because each is deserving and each are truly ready. Dating on the spectrum is not easy because most people with autism are made to feel they will never experience the normalcy of love and relationships because of their condition, although they have the deep desire for it. When it comes to finding love on the spectrum, it's taken seriously and not for granted. Something that has been lost in the neurotypical world where casual dating and hookups are the norms. We've lost the purpose and deep connection to another that dating brings. Yet, most still have that deep desire for love and relationships. I truly believe that those who do not have autism or neurotypicals have a thing or two, well, in this case 4, things to learn from those who are dating on the spectrum. Because let's face it, something has got to change, because the instant gratification, quick to dispose and discard culture that's popping right now is not conducive to our long-term mental health. Yeah, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but what do you do when the sea itself is polluted? Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century and also a member of the autistic spectrum, has a famous quote that goes something like this: "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, yet expecting different results. If you want something different, you're going to have to try something new." So here are the 4 new laws of dating as per Love on the Spectrum. And quick disclaimer before we get started, when I refer to a partner, that means a person or persons you're dating with the intention of building towards a committed relationship. These dating laws do not apply to casual dating, friends with benefits, or one-night stands. It is important that before you engage in any type of relationship, serious or not, that all parties are on the same page about what the situation is. Because, well, karma is a bitch, and you don't want any sort of confusion coming your way when you are the one in seek of love. All right, now back to the regularly scheduled program. So law number 1 is to be consistent. To be consistent means to keep the same level of energy and engagement going that you started with. Gone are the days of ghosting and love bombing, which is creating a pattern of behavior that involves an overdosage of attention, care, and affection until your prospect is hooked and accustomed to that behavior. Once they are fully engaged and show any sort of devotion, you then withdraw said attention, care, and affection so that they are now chasing you. It's very twisted and manipulative, but occurs often in the neurotypical dating world. Inconsistency while dating causes emotional stress, mental confusion, and is very frustrating to deal with. Being inconsistent could never fly while dating on the spectrum because most people living on the spectrum do best with patterns and predictability. Knowing what to expect, how much of it, and when reduces anxieties and gives space to focus on other things. Do everyone a favor and don't date until you are ready, because a lack of consistency is something that no one should deal with, neurotypical or not. Which leads me into law number 2. Set expectations for your communication. We live in a world of instant gratification, and it's very easy for the unsuspecting dater with the best of intentions to still manage to be inconsistent with their communication. That's why it's all the more important to agree upon levels of communication with your partner. Again, the point is to increase predictability while decreasing stress. This helps to create a safe space for a healthy relationship to develop. This means sharing with your partner how often you are willing and able to see them and your preferred method of communication, for example, phone calls over texting, as well as the frequency or how often you would like to communicate with them. Now let me stress, this is not a demand list. You should not and cannot force your partner to adhere to your methods and styles. Instead, everyone involved should come to an agreement that works for all. Working together with your partner to set expectations for communication is an exercise in a real-time example of problem solving together and communicating effectively with each other. So, on to rule number 3, which is to be transparent. Being honest with your partner about who you are, letting them know your intentions, your beliefs, your quirks, and anything else that make up you is so vital and important to dating. Think of it this way. Honesty is the best policy. Discussing your needs and the things you need to feel safe do not make you needy, nor do you need to apologize for the things that are outside of your control. And you don't need to tell a lie in order to keep the relationship. When you are transparent, you walk confidently in your truth and express your vulnerabilities. In Love on the Spectrum, the cast members were honest about who they were and their disabilities. In fact, I learned that autism is not a disability because it gives them the ability to unapologetically be who they are. There were several times the cast members were on dates and had honest and frank conversations with their date about the limitations of their disability. It was so that they were aware of each other and how they would fit into the puzzle piece of supporting one another should they pursue a relationship together. However, and too often in the neurotypical dating world, neuroses and idiosyncrasies are not learned until well into a relationship and after the representative has left the building. Dating is not a press conference. I repeat, dating is not a press conference. Don't send your representative to speak for you. Show up as yourself and share with your partner the areas of your life in which you struggle and what assistance you would need from a partner to overcome or deal with it. If transparency is to tell who you are, being genuine is to show it. So stop playing it cool when it comes to dating and embrace your childlike excitement and curiosity. Laugh with your partner until you want to pass out. Let your guard down and show your excitement while being with your partner. This will only help to bring you closer together. What I absolutely loved in Love on the Spectrum was the carefree and deep friendship shared by the two couples highlighted on the show. One of the biggest things I noticed was their energies together, how carefree, silly, and playful their relationships were. There is nothing wrong with being vulnerable with someone you are dating. We are all human, neurotypical or not, and none of us are perfect. Being transparent only will help to build a bridge laid with vulnerability, honesty, and genuineness that lead to a healthy relationship. The fourth and final law of dating is to step outside your comfort zone. In order to date, you must continuously put yourself out there until you find the one. But if you are still digging into your old bag of tricks that left you hurt and damaged, then why pull from the same space again? Why repeat the same behaviors, or worse, do the opposite of those behaviors to find love? Meaning, if you've been hurt before, you will not find love if you close your heart. If you've been cheated on before, you will not secure love if you show extreme jealousy towards your new partner. To date is to be brave, just like the cast members of Love on the Spectrum, many of whom have never been on a date before, yet were willing and able to learn the skills needed to properly date. Some of the cast members were visibly nervous, uncomfortable, and downright afraid to date, especially while on camera, but still pushed through. So might I ask, what is stopping you? Why use the hurt from your past as an excuse to avoid emotional intimacy? When you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you open yourself up to experiencing a greater love than you ever knew before. Yes, it may not always work. Yes, you may fall flat on your face, but you would have learned something new to tweak your approach for the next time, because you will get up. Remember, different actions for different results. Okay guys, those are the 4 new laws of dating as inspired by Love on the Spectrum. Drop a comment below if you have a question or you just want to say something. Have you seen this series yet? And if so, do you have any laws you want to add about dating? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to just subscribe and like this video. I appreciate you so much for spending your time with me. Once again, I am Maya Rivers, and this has been The Truth Behind the Real. Until next time. Mwah.